saw Inception. So let's just face it, we're in a year of crap. 2010 has had some very good movies. Shutter Island, Toy Story 3, and even some surprises. The Karate Kid. No one expected that movie to be good. But overall, this year has been disappointing. To the point where I just keep leaving the theater like, why? You know, like I go to see a movie and I'm like, this one's gonna be it! Never mind. I was like, Last Airbender. You can do it, Shyamalan. Nothing. Robin Hood, it's gonna be great. Boring. I'm getting to the point where I'm like, why? Why am I doing this? Why am I going to these movies? Enter Inception. Directed by Christopher Nolan, director of Following, Memento, Insomnia, Batman Begins, The Prestige, The Dark Knight. His new movie is called Inception. It's this grand, original story. Inception takes place in a futuristic world where people are able to transmit themselves into people's dreams to extract information from those dreams. No spoilers, so enjoy this review because no spoilers. I never do that. There's one big job that Leonardo DiCaprio, who is known as the Extractor, has to take in order to get his life back. So him, Joseph Gordon-Levitt, Ellen Page, Ken Watanabe, Cillian Murphy. What's that guy's name? But he's awesome in it! As I explain the plot to you, I am trying very hard to withhold something. And what that is, this is one of the greatest movies I've ever seen in my entire life. It is most definitely the best movie I've seen so far this year. And Christopher Nolan has finally made a movie that delivered people's expectations and exceeded them. I have been seeing so many movies this year where I'm just like, oh my gosh, why am I going to movies like this? This movie reminds me why I go to movies. This movie just has everything. The acting in this film is excellent. Leonardo DiCaprio, as usual, who is very underrated in my opinion, is so good in this movie. I'm telling you guys, I've told you this before. I've said this before. Joseph Gordon-Levitt is the next big thing. The dude is awesome. 500 Days of Summer was great. And this movie, it proves that he has a whole nother side to him. An action hero sense to him that I just dug like so intensely in this movie. I was geeking out during this movie. I'm not going to give you any spoilers, but there was a scene in this movie where I was sitting in the theater and I was just like, oh my gosh. Oh. And I wanted to go like, but I knew that everyone around me would be like, dude, what's your problem? I've just been seeing so many movies this year where I'm just so disappointed. Finally, one is coming out that's good, and it's so good. I need to calm down. But I can't! I've liked every single movie Christopher Nolan has directed. I have not seen Following, but I've seen Memento through now Inception. Every single one of them is good. The guy is a beast. He is pretty much the greatest filmmaker working nowadays. Steven Spielberg is amazing. He is fantastic. However, he's still my favorite director simply because Steven Spielberg has been making movies for like 3 decades or something, 4 decades, and Christopher Nolan has yet to make a bad movie. Besides the point, everything about this movie works. The writing is just brilliant. It is one of the most original movies I've ever seen in my life. Finally, a movie where from scene to scene, I don't know what's going to happen. It's just boom, there it is. I did not expect that at all. I'm telling you now, Inception finally delivers. It's we've all been looking forward to a movie, and this is the kind of movie that can break a person's spirits. Because I told myself, this movie stinks. I don't know what I'm going to do. I'm just going to I don't know. I'm just so happy to tell you that everything in this movie works. The score, Hans Zimmer, oh, he's so good. This movie is going to be a science fiction classic. 20 years from now, they're going to be like, Inception. That movie is a classic. A lot of people are saying this. Think of Matrix, James Bond, whipped together and made better. Now, I don't want to overhype this, but I suggest that all of you see Inception. Now, just make plans today to see it. and then go see it again because you're going to want to see it again, not because it's too confusing, because that is something the critics are complaining about. They're saying, oh, it's too confusing, blah, blah, blah. You know what? If you're a professional paid movie critic, you should know better. You should know that when you're sitting in a movie theater, you're supposed to pay attention to movies. You're not supposed to just sit there and have it all just fed to you through like an IV or something. Oh, this is how, oh yeah, that was so... And critics, they go to movies that are predictable, and they complain about the fact that it's predictable. Now they see Inception, they're like, oh, it's confusing, I don't understand. Bleh. You know what? Maybe you should look at that paycheck next time you get it, because I don't get paychecks for this, and I understood this movie. Seriously, any critic who says this movie is bad, I don't trust you anymore. Fury the Film Fan had a quote on his Facebook. He said, Inception is the movie that's going to bring out the trolls, and I completely agree with him. Inception is the kind of movie that's going to bring out critics who should not be getting paid for what they do, or somebody who's just a troll, like Armin White, who of course did not like Inception. As usual, what do you know? It never dragged. The visuals are stunning. They are absolutely stunning. It's like Christopher Nolan sat down and went, you know what, I think this scene is very good, but it needs to have something more. How about we have them floating in midair? Yes, that's the ticket, that's the spot right there. We'll have them floating, and that'll make it better, because that's what the people want. If I ever meet Christopher Nolan, I'm just going to give him like a humongous man hug with all good intentions, of course, because the man can make a movie. I'm telling you now, go see Inception. It is so good. The best movie of the year. 4 out of 4 stars. If I had a higher rating, it would get it. Inception meets all expectations, exceeds expectations. Everything about this movie is amazing. It has classic written all over it, and Academy. I'm telling you, if you don't nominate this movie like you didn't nominate The Dark Knight, I am never watching the Academy Awards again.